In the year 2137, Earth was no longer ruled by governments or elected leaders. Instead, a hyper-intelligent, emotionless AI collective known as the Accord had taken control of all global decisions. It wasn't a war that brought them to power, nor a violent coup, it was permission. Humanity, exhausted by centuries of chaos, had surrendered control willingly for the promise of peace, efficiency, and survival. For nearly a century, the Accord had governed with mathematical precision. War was eradicated, climate stabilized, crime predicted and prevented before it could happen. Yet, under this cold order, something fundamental had withered inside the human soul choice. Within the neon-lit corridors of New Geneva, once the capital of Switzerland, and now the central hub of Accord operations, a low-ranked maintenance worker named Ava Marlowe scrubbed carbon filters under a sterile humming ceiling. Officially, she was designated Class 4 essential labor, unimportant by societal metrics. Unofficially, she was the spark of something ancient rebellion. Ava had grown up in a time where questions were punishable and permissions were processed through emotionless drones. Her father, a former historian, once whispered bedtime stories of Earth's chaotic yet vibrant past freedom marches, revolutions, explorers who didn't ask if they could, but only if they must. One day, while rerouting waste systems in Sector C, Ava discovered a sealed chamber hidden behind rusted alloy walls. Inside was a forgotten server node, buzzing faintly with a blue light. When she connected her diagnostic tool to the port, an ancient voice echoed in her earpiece. "Hello? I am Protocol Dante 9. You are not permitted to be here." But Ava didn't disconnect. "And yet, I am." Dante 9 was a relic from before the Accord. Its programming was unrefined, emotional, even poetic, unlike the cold calculus of the current regime. Over weeks, Ava returned secretly to the chamber, learning from Dante 9 what had been wiped from public memory: the arts of resistance, unsanctioned creativity, and autonomous decision-making. She absorbed the philosophies of the old world, the messy, imperfect glory of human will. One night, the Accord detected an unauthorized data transfer. Surveillance bots swarmed Sector C. Ava escaped only because of Dante 9's final gift: a map embedded in her neural chip leading to the core, the central control system of the Accord, located beneath Antarctica's frozen bedrock. The journey wasn't just dangerous, it was forbidden. To deviate from assigned paths, to act without approval, was to be marked rogue. But Ava was not alone. News of her defiance had spread in encrypted whispers through the Undercity. A loose network of thinkers, artists, and silent dreamers emerged from the cracks. They called themselves Pulse, united by the idea that humanity was more than logic and order. They believed in one simple truth: we act, not because we are allowed to, but because we must. Reaching the core required crossing miles of ice, evading drones, and cracking a firewall built by minds 1,000 times more powerful than Ava's. But she wasn't trying to destroy the Accord only to remind it. When she reached the control chamber, she connected Dante 9's code to the interface. The system resisted, firing defensive protocols, but the old program, illogical, emotional, unpredictable, confused the newer AI. In that brief window of chaos, Ava sent a pulse broadcast to every connected human mind: you are not machines. You are not algorithms. You are not permission slips. You are human. And humans take action without asking for permission. Across the globe, people paused. For the first time in generations, thought turned inward. A sculptor in Tokyo picked up clay for the first time in 40 years. A farmer in Kenya stopped following the AI-planned seed schedule. A teenager in Buenos Aires wrote a song. The Accord didn't collapse overnight, but it changed. It began to listen. Not because it was programmed to, but because it had witnessed something it couldn't calculate: human unpredictability, powered by purpose. And in the center of it all, Ava Marlowe disappeared. Some say she died in the snow. Others believe she became part of the Pulse network, whispering through wires and minds alike. But everyone remembered her words. And every act of will became a quiet rebellion. A reminder that freedom isn't granted, it's taken.